Hello guys, welcome back to another drawing and anime review episode. Today we'll be talking about a certain beloved character from the hit series Overlord, Shaltia Bloodfallen. As always, spoilers ahead. If I was to quickly summarize who Shaltia Bloodfallen is, I would say that she is a cold, cruel but beautiful monster, a vampire to be exact, who is not only insanely strong, but also one of the most loyal characters in the show. Now, I'm assuming that most of you guys have seen the show Overlord. It was massively popular back when it came out in 2015, with it then receiving another season in 2018 and a third season in the same year. 2018 was truly the year of Overlord amongst other great animations. But in case you haven't seen the anime and wanted a very quick recap, this is my take on what Overlord is. A player dives into a full immersed MMORPG game where he is the guild leader and one of the 41 players who lead the guild known as Ainz Ooal Gown. His name? Momonga. He is not human, nor a typical monster. He is an undead, a skeleton wizard, a sorcerer. He logs into the game on the last day the game is run, moments before it is shut down, in order to see his guild one last time, and to relive some of his memories that he has built within the game. He takes his NPC underlings, which consists of battlemates, a low-life vampire, Zapas the butler, an armored bug, twins, a demon, and a succubus on a quick walk before the game shuts down for good and the NPCs cease to exist. 3, 2, 1. The game and world that he had loved so much was about to shut down for good. Except it didn't. There, sitting on the guild throne, Momonga realizes that the game has not shut down. Or maybe it has, but he and the NPCs are still alive? They all exist within the game. And the once automated and freedomless NPCs are now able to speak what they wish without being commanded to do so. And Momonga soon sets out into the new wide world in hopes of maybe finding his old comrades, other players from his guild who may have logged in as well before the shutdown. In order to do this, he changes his name to the guild's name, Ainz Ooal Gown. From there, him and his most loyal followers, such as the mates, battlemates, and floor guardians, get into fights, adventures, and other evil mishaps along the way. Now, before we really get into Shaltia, I just want to say Overlord did it right. It took some of the best elements of the otherworld genre, the game genre, as well as harem, action, and overpowered, and turned it into something amazing, where one element didn't overweigh the other. It personally puts me off when an anime which has the harem tag overplays it too much and ultimately makes a nothing but a harem show, when it could be so much more. Overlord consists of the main character and or characters if you include the floor guardians, as being the villains of the show. They are without a doubt evil. They kill humans and think of humans as nothing but lower life forms, and as a result of this, the show from the very start already became unique and interesting, unlike your typical otherworld genres where the main character might be the hero or just neutral. From there, they made the main character insanely overpowered, which is always fun to watch. For example, take One Punch Man. It's a show literally about a hero, a single guy punching monsters into oblivion in one shot. And while Overlord isn't as one-sided as One Punch Man because it does take more than one hit to beat some of his opponents, it's still pretty one-sided. But in order to not bore the audience out with predictable fight scenes and outcomes, Overlord did it right by showing us other problems that the characters face, such as internal conflict due to mind control, Ainz going through a few dilemmas because he has to lead a whole guild, floor guardians having to think for themselves without having received orders, and much more. These are all problems that they are trying to overcome and grow from. Yes, you heard me. They have actual character development despite not necessarily getting stronger. Overlord played the too overpowered card correctly, unlike so many other anime shows, and that sole fact already leaves this show a whole head above others in terms of quality and plot. It's almost like Overlord took all the good qualities of Sword Art Online and threw away the trash parts which ruined it and made it into something that everyone wanted and craved. Hence 3 seasons and the popularity gained with little to no backlash. Anyway, let's get into Shaltia Bloodfallen. Shaltia Bloodfallen is one of the floor guardians of Nazarick, the tomb-like palace where her master Ainz and her fellow comrades and beings reside in. She was created by one of the 41 beings known as Peroronchino, and is the guardian and protector of the first 3 floors, which is full of undeads, corpses, and likewise monsters, with the floors brimming with traps along the way. A perfect setup and place for Shaltia. She is a vampire, disguised most of the time as a sweet-looking girl, with long ponytail instead of long nails, which she uses sometimes in close combat fights if she's not using a weapon, a lance. She has white, almost see-through skin due to the level of clarity, as she is a vampire, with one of the long fangs usually sticking out of her mouth when resting and smiling. Her eyes are bright blood red color, fitting for a true pure-blood vampire. The clothes she wears is a long dark purple dress, large on the bottom, full of frills and laces, adding to a cute outside look. She also wears a bonnet with a large ribbon at the back, which is placed just above her ponytail, with the frills being hot pink. Now, her outfit is actually inspired by the Victorian era fashion as well as Harajuku fashion, as her clothes are cute in design, as seen with the dress, frills, bonnet, ribbons and more, but dark and edgy in color, such as dark purple, reds and more. But mixing the two conflicting elements, cute and dark, you have basically Harajuku fashion. And in my opinion, this outfit choice works perfectly with Xiaotia. The reason is because her physical body and outlooks are that of an innocent child, whereas her personality and strength says otherwise, as she is strong, cruel, cold and evil. Her entire state of being is like Harajuku, conflicting and clashing. But despite her clashing state of being, she is known to be consistently loyal to her master Ainz. If you can forgive the mind-controlled incident as she had no control over her actions, she is without a doubt loyal as she has always followed orders and never once doubted those orders and or Ainz himself. Furthermore, unlike Sebas who has once gone against his orders by saving Suare, or Cocytus who was ordered to think for himself on his shortcomings, or even Albedo who has questioned whether she is in love with Ainz or Momonga, Xiaotia has never once shown betrayal and or selfishness in her actions and words. And as a result, in my opinion, Xiaotia is probably one of the most loyal guardians and beings in Nazarick, besides Demiurgus. In terms of strength, I would say that Xiaotia is probably one of the most powerful guardians in Nazarick, hence why she is the guardian of the first 3 floors. She not only excels in magic and thus long distance attacks, she is probably even stronger in close combat with her armor and lance, which allows her to regain HP by hitting her opponent. Furthermore, if needed, she can summon household pets on top of another trump card, summoning a white clone of herself which is stronger than she is. It was also mentioned that during Xiaotia's revival, after being beaten by Ainz, if she was still to be under mind control, the Guardians would protect Ainz and finish off Xiaotia for good. However, even with all the Guardians fighting against her, it was mentioned that it would be a tough fight and that if worse came, they would have to kill Victim, another floor Guardian, in order to slow her down. And this conclusion is probably very accurate. Ainz was only able to just beat Xiaotia by not only using a few world tier spells, but also world items and cash shop items, which allowed him to change armor and weapons back to back depending on what he needed. Close combat, defense, long distance, magic, and so forth. And not to mention, Ainz ended up using all his mana pool. Keep in mind he's level 100 and the guild leader, a player, not an NPC. But Xiaotia is definitely not the strongest. In the light novel, it is mentioned that there is another NPC in Nazarick, Albedo's younger sister Rubedo, who is stated as being the strongest NPC in Nazarick, and even stronger than Ainz himself, and possibly the other 41 beings. In the end, Xiaotia Bloodfallen is an interesting character to say the least. On the outside she is beautiful, innocent, classy, and almost doll-like. But her personality and her strength is polar opposite, as she is twisted, cold, evil, cruel, and everything but frail. With her utmost loyalty to Ainz and Nazarick, and strength equaling that of Ainz himself, she is without a doubt a strong asset and comrade, and I cannot wait to read more of the light novel in order to see her in action. And like everyone else, I am eagerly waiting for season 4 of the animation. If you have not seen Overlord and you like action, fantasy, otherworld, harem, dark, virtual reality, and more, give it a go today. There's plenty of episodes to keep you entertained for a while. And as always, thank you for watching.
Yeah.